Have you ever thought about what it's like to break a world record? Must be pretty sick, right? Well, today we're going to see and hopefully talk to a 12-time Olympic medalist and a world record holder named Ryan Lochte. He's doing a clinic today at my home pool, and I get to be there because I'm a coach.
I'm really good at answering this because I swam in the Michael Phelps era. I can run second a lot of times behind him.
For the people at home who have no idea who Ryan Lochte is and don't pay attention to swimming, let me put this into perspective for you. If Michael Phelps was not swimming, this would be the Michael Phelps. Stick around because I'm going to try to interview Ryan Lochte about his world record.
Like I said, I left everything at the pool. As long as I knew I could look at myself in the mirror and say I gave it 110%, that's all I can ask for, all right? There's times when I don't win and I'm upset. But then I'm like, there's nothing I can do, so there's no reason to dwell about it, all right? That race is over with. I have to move forward. One thing I'm really good about, I swim so many races, so at swim meets, if I have a bad race, I can easily forget about that race and move forward and get ready for my next race. Actually, as a matter of fact, there's multiple swim meets where I had a horrible race. I got almost dead last, had a worse time, and then the next race, I broke a world record.
This was from the Q&A session which took place after the swim portion of the clinic. The company had a rule of no film or photography until the Q&A part of the clinic. The rain kind of played around with our scheduling, so there was a swimmers only class where they really got to learn from an Olympic champion. From my perspective, it was amazing to see Ryan show and tell the stories of the world record, injury comebacks, and give tips and tricks to the swimmers. When the rain let up, they got in the water with Ryan as he taught them new drills, and the cool part for me was helping him coach them through it. And before the clinic started, I got to talk to Ryan and his dad, and I got to tell Ryan the story about how I met him back at sectionals in 2018, which was a really cool experience for me. One thing I really admire is Ryan's passion for the sport.
When I get up on those blocks, I get excited because I love racing, I love the competition, I love getting on those blocks being like, who wants to beat me? You're gonna have to dig down deep because I've worked my butt off for this.
And his ability to be humble and generous when taking pictures and signing so many autographs for these young swimmers. While the time with Ryan ended for these young swimmers, I got to spend more time around him as we got to run a second session of the clinic. And that included having lunch with an Olympian, which I'll talk about more later, but I want to show you the interview I had with Ryan. Alright guys, we got a very special guest here, 12-time Olympian and world record holder, sorry about that, Ryan Lochte.
What's up everyone? How you guys doing?
Good man, how are you?
I'm doing great.
I have a good question for you.
Yes.
So, I swam for a while, and a lot of people do as well, but they never reach the world record threshold.
Yes.
What was it like to reach that threshold, and what was it like afterwards?
Well, it has to start at a young age.
Right.
Like I said, setting a long-term goal. So I knew I wasn't going to let anything get in the way, and I wasn't going to stop until I reached that goal.
Okay.
But when it happened, oh my gosh, it was tears
a lot
were
of
going,
DMs.
a lot of DMs.
Yeah.
A lot of notoriety everywhere I went, around, just walking down New York City.
Yeah.
In the city, people would be like, "Ryan, can I take a picture with you?" I'm like, "What?
Wow.
For real? Me?"
That's awesome.
So it was a pretty. I'm definitely really blessed.
And you would imagine, that's probably the level of fame of a football player and stuff.
But I know, I was like, "What do? I just swim up and down a pool."
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is crazy. So yeah, it's awesome.
Now, I mentioned this to you earlier today, but I met you back at sectionals.
Yes.
So I got this picture here of us at sectionals.
Oh my gosh. Blast from the past.
Yeah,
Look
right?
at this.
Yeah. I'd like you to sign it.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Awesome. And then we got one more back here.
All right.
It's kind of the same shot or different angle.
That's so cool.
That's crazy. This is his gold medal right here from Rio. Although the thumbnail shows me swimming, I unfortunately did not get to race Ryan Lochte, but the swimmers did. I didn't have my suit with me, and also, I was working. So I didn't vlog this part, but I was having lunch with an Olympian. That's kind of crazy to think about. We're just chilling there, and then he goes, I want a soda. And he goes, I'm gonna go to the gas station and get a soda. Does anybody want one? I was thinking, oh, no, I'm good. And after I was like, you know what? I could go for a Coke. So an Olympian who's a swimmer is gonna bring me a Coke. What the fuck is life, man? During lunch, Ryan also FaceTimed his family, so I got to see his 2 kids, and his daughter actually had a pair of goggles in the house, which was pretty funny. And it was just cool to see him being a good dad. He came back to the office with my soda, and he was also eating a bunch of Airheads, and he said he wasn't going to eat the last one, so he tossed it to me. Airheads and soda is definitely part of a swimmer's diet, right? The second session had a bunch of older swimmers, which was interesting to coach because a lot of them used to be my older teammates. One thing I really liked was getting to communicate the different tips that Ryan was telling me to help with some swimmers, and also he was pointing out to different people saying different things like, that was perfect, that was it, that was great. And I told those swimmers that I knew that he said that, and their face lit up with excitement, and it was really cool to see. Another funny thing that I noticed from my perspective is although this guy has all of these accolades, world records, Olympic medals, he is just as human as any one of us. He was doing a really slow freestyle drill for the swimmers to see. They were on the other side of the pool, but when he touched the wall, he looks up at me and says, "Fuck, that hurt so much." It was one of the funniest and most unexpected things that I thought I'd experienced today. Ryan Lochte's also got a very important message for you guys.
Hey guys, you better subscribe for this, all right?
Thank you.
Do it now.
Thank you, Ryan. I didn't tell him to say that. No way. I definitely didn't tell him to say that, right? Now, to provide a lot of value to different swimmers and people who are interested in starting swimming, I'm going to include a bunch of pieces from the Q&A of the second clinic here, and hopefully you get some good wisdom from Ryan and his father, who was a national coach. But stick around because we got something truly insane that happened later in the day.
Practice back to back. I was recovering faster. I had more energy for practice. Those started to run back to back, started training weeks and groups of blocks back to back that were magnificent. It was because I was putting the right nutrients in my body, helping my other teammates out, because negative energy is contagious. So actually getting something in your body 30 minutes after a workout is crucial. It's crucial. We always had like a chocolate milk right after practice. Handed right there. In college, we had a chocolate milk stand right there. As soon as we finished practice, we were drinking one, putting something in our body.
Because now your body is working overtime to digest it. The other thing is, at the day of the meet, potassium. Potassium will carry the carbohydrate energy at a higher level for a longer period of time. Fresh honeydew melons, watermelon, fresh fruit in the morning will help keep that energy level for a duration of a prelim and a final meet. Okay?
Yeah. No, because if I did a carbo load the night before, I'm gonna walk into the pool and be like, ooh. You need that 3 days for the giant test.
And here's another little tidbit. What's the most important night of sleep before a competition? 2 nights before. If you're racing on Saturday, the most important night to sleep is Thursday night.
Just put up. I told the kids this. I live by 3 kind of rules, guidelines, ever since I was a little kid that I still live by now. 1, listen to your coach, your coaches, including you guys are coaches as well, to your kids. Listen to them. The second one was make sure you set short-term and long-term goals. So to answer your question, that motivational part, I had that long-term goal when I was 8 years old of getting an individual gold medal and breaking world records at the Olympics at the same time. So I always, no matter what, if I was like, man, I just don't want to go to school practice today, I don't feel like it, I would think about what's my overall long-term goal. That world record, that gold medal. I don't want to be one of those guys being like, what if? Well, what if I made that practice? I don't want to say what if. So it was up to me. Even though he would have that foot there, it's not his job to motivate me. It's mine.
I was a national coach, and I coached him. But when we walked out of that gate, I never spoke about swimming to him, because I became his parent, no longer his coach. I didn't burn him out. NBC till this day, NBC would come to me and say, Coach, I need some age group videos of your son prior to the Olympics or prior to the World Cup because they want to show it on TV. I said, I don't have it. They go, what? You don't have any videos of your son in age group? I said, no. I want this sport to be fun. I never spoke to him at home about his swimming. One day I did say something to him leaving the parking lot about what he didn't do right in practice. And he gave me a look that I never asked him again. We kept him. I was his coach on the pool deck. I'm his dad. And dads and mom, your job is to love him. That's all. That's all you gotta do. Feed him and love him. Love him no matter what. I love this man. Better. His whole life. In order to break the world swimming, you got to win a gold medal. You break the world's record in the Olympics. Same thing. That happened in 2008. He became great. And when they parade these athletes around, he came running up on the steps with his gold medal. And I whispered in his ear, today you became great. Now you know that. NBC is still trying to figure out what I said to him in his ear. And I'm not going to tell him.
Swimmers, any questions?
Yes, come on, swimmers. Bring it.
Come on.
Don't be shy now, it's time to ask. Amazing
Coaches aren't off the hook. You guys got to ask some questions too.
You've been standing back there all day. You got to have some questions.
Do you have a favorite meet you've been to?
Yes. My favorite meet of all time, out of all the swim meets I've ever been to, it was in 2005 SEC Championships. They were hosted at University of Florida, where I went to school. That's on my home team. In 2004, the summer before, I went to the Olympics, got my first gold and silver. As soon as I was on the plane coming home, I was like, I don't care about anything else. I can't wait for SECs because we're hosting it here in Gainesville, and I'm gonna light it up. It was the funnest meet ever. The crowd was just insane. It was very intense, and it was like one of my best meets. Like, I had all these NCAA records broken. I started getting known as an underwater kicker then. It was just like the crowd. The crowd was just like on top of you screaming. It was so loud. It was awesome. I get chills thinking about it.
That was the meet where he went under 140 in the 200 backstroke. He went first man ever to break 140, 139 in the 200
138.
The 138.
On to another pictures and autograph session. Ryan is really generous with it, and he signed multiple items per person, which is amazing to see coming from a high caliber athlete like himself. After the session was over, we had our goodbyes, and then I went off to dinner with my family to Red Robin, where I came across something really insane. Alright, so this happened while I was out at dinner, but it's freaking awesome. I looked on Instagram, and Ryan Lochte posted a bunch of pictures from today, and eventually I came across a picture of him and me vlogging at the table there, and I just thought, out of all the pictures, that was pretty awesome that actually went up. I posted it on my Instagram story and stuff because it was pretty cool. But I was on there twice. I was in there in the coach's photo, but my head got cut off a little bit. This event went really well, and I feel like it inspired a lot of people, all of these swimmers, all of these parents. I want to shout out my coach, Coach Alan Williams, for throwing a great event and hosting it, and Ryan for being there and inspiring everybody, including me. It inspired me the next day to go and swim and start swimming again. So, thank you, Ryan, and thank you to everybody who showed out. Like and subscribe, or just listen to Ryan Lochte.
Do it now.
I literally didn't tell him to say this. Okay, maybe I did. Can you tell my viewers to subscribe? Also, at this point, almost at the end of the Paris 2024 Olympics, Ryan Lochte's world record for the 200 IM still stands. Leon Marchand was so close to breaking it, but he was .06 off. I'm sure that Ryan Lochte is happy that his record will stand for a little bit longer.